The Iran deal was one of the worst and most one-sided transactions the United States has ever entered into. Frankly, that deal is an embarrassment to the United States, and I don't think you've heard the last of it, believe me.
Joining me now is John Bolton, former U.S. ambassador to the UN and a Fox News contributor who wrote an op-ed on this topic called "The Iran Deal Isn't Worth Saving." Ambassador Bolton, good to see you. Want to talk about Iran, but there is breaking news. I just want to get your feeling. I was just looking up some trips that individuals in the Obama administration took on private or government-owned small aircraft that cost the government a lot of money for personal expenses. In 2014, Eric Holder took his two daughters, their boyfriends, and a couple of Secret Service agents on a government-owned Gulfstream to go to the Belmont Stakes for a race. It cost the government $14,400, and he paid the government back $955, which is how much a coach class ticket for one would have cost. Now, in relation to Dr. Price, that sounds even more outrageous than what he was accused of.
Well, I'm sure we're all shocked that there's a double standard in the press between what happened in the Obama administration and what happens in the Trump administration. But, you know, the bottom line is you should try and be consistent, whatever the vagaries of the mainstream media.
Right.
And, you know, if there's an important government mission involved, then frequently there are government planes, the Pentagon's fleet, the FBI for the Justice Department. The idea that somehow the domestic cabinet secretaries are so critically needed at any moment that they have to be on a private plane because commercial airlines are inconvenient. I'm sorry, I'm not sympathetic to it. Tom Price is a good man. The president's right. I'm terribly sorry for this personal tragedy. But honest to goodness, we're Republicans, you know, we're cheap. At least we should be. Yeah,
at least cheaper than what the Democrats are. All right, switching to Iran, which is a real existential question as opposed to a political one. If the Iran deal is so bad, why are some people in the Trump administration convinced that we should keep it?
Because I think a lot of these people are hearing from the career bureaucracy which negotiated and administered this deal for the first 2 years that it would just be catastrophic if we got out. So they're looking for ways to back and fill, keep the deal alive, and hope that Trump goes away. That's what it boils down to. And so they've got this, what I consider, too cute by half strategy of not certifying that the deal's in America's national interest under the Corker-Cardin legislation, but staying in the deal. I think that's ridiculous. You know, if Corker-Cardin didn't exist, a president should look at this deal or any deal the United States is in internationally and ask the fundamental question, is this deal in our interest? You just played what Donald Trump thinks of it. He thinks it's an embarrassment. When you're in that sort of situation, I think you should confront it squarely, talk straight, and get out of it.
Now, the problem is, of course, the cat's out of the bag. They got their $100 billion and more. They're trading with Europe like crazy. The Europeans are not going to stop it, even if we do.
Well, I don't agree with that. It's true that the deal was front-end loaded with benefits for Iran and back-end loaded with where Iran's responsibilities are. That's one reason it was a terrible deal. But if the United States withdraws and reimposes sanctions, which the executive branch can do on its own, that creates an entirely new reality. And then I think you approach the Europeans and say, who do you want to deal with? This state sponsor of terrorism that's still pursuing nuclear weapons, maybe in conjunction with North Korea? You want to trade with us?
Okay. Well, they'll deal with the highest bidder. We know the Europeans. John Bolton, thank you very much. Have a good weekend.